Smudgy pooper cans, it's bad smudgy pooper cans. Hi there, I'm Sietch Ramshackle, and I'm doing a response video to the kind folks at Books and Brews and Moonshine and Music, Brent Schlemmer, Brent Lee Smith, Bailey Ann Shelton, and Joseph Shelton, for reviewing Retnaskan's EP The Curse of the Emerald Tablets. Oh, it's fucking terrible. Alright, so let's do this shiz. Never done one of these before.
Today we'll be reviewing Retnaskan's new
that's
record.
Joe.
It's called The Curse of the Emerald Tablets. It's coming up right here on Moonshine and Music Review.
He looks like a Trump fan
This
to
is
me.
Moonshine and Music with Joe Shelton. Wait a minute, that's me. Anyway, we're going to bring you some inspiring songwriters, musicians,
Inspiring.
and maybe some side
Keyword.
challenges and other stuff around the music industry. So stick with us right now, because the show is coming your way.
Find a lighter.
Woo! Moonshine and Music starts right now.
Smudgy pooper cans. It's bad smudgy pooper cans, man.
Moonshine and Music Review. Today we're going to be reviewing Retnaskan.
Dope, dude.
The album is called The Curse of the Emerald Tablets, which I think is awesome. We got Brent Schlemmer and Brent Smith, Brent Lee Smith, and Bailey Shelton.
This is when they introduce
on
themselves.
Bailey, what's going
and they
on
talk
behind
about
you?
what
There's
they do
some
because
crazy
they're
stuff in
dope-ass
your
people,
background
too.
today.
Yeah, so I was having some trouble getting on the Zoom. It made me re-download Zoom for some reason. And so in the meantime, I downloaded this meme of, it's of Eric Andre. And it's,
a little loud.
He's like out front of, I think it's the White House, and he's like shaking the hand. So that was my choice of Zoom background today.
And she's eating a pear.
I am.
Brent Lee Smith,
Pears
what
ain't
you up to
peaches.
today?
You got close, Bailey, but you should have had a peach.
I got up,
Jesus!
gonna do some stuff, and my body said, "You're tired, go back to sleep." So I went back to sleep,
Motivated
got up.
man.
and now we're doing this.
So a challenging day for you. Like you.
Yeah. And it's weird, I don't know, this, the last while,
So is this what you do
What's
for
up,
a
like
React
90
video?
minutes?
I'm just sitting here talking about you
my body
guys.
seems to think that's already a fairly full day, but
It's a full
hopefully
day
I'll
for
be able
you,
to be,
Brent. We're proud of you for
productive
getting up
around
in the
house
morning.
after we do this, and I'm excited for this. Like when
Excitement!
you sent the link for it, I was like, oh, what's this gonna be? And then, now I know.
One of
I
the
guess.
funniest stand-up comedians in
And-
Indianapolis
and-
right there. Dude makes me
Brent
chuckle.
Schlemmer, the
with
king of B&B TV.
Oh, fucking Brent Schlemmer.
Is here, and in between editing and filming sessions.
Yep. And I sold, and I'm still working on the sales team thing for Books and Brews. So my morning was all distribution
Flipping
and
that alcohol
whatnot, and
to
my
the
afternoon
Irish,
was all
keeping
interviews
the
and editing. So split it up. I'll do it all. I don't care.
Christ, man.
Well,
Dude,
let's talk about this LP, and I'm
Here we
going to
go.
go ahead and play the first track.
Oh.
I mean, I guess we can talk about this band a little bit before we do that.
Band.
It's an interesting creation from Sietch Ramshackle.
Nope, from Retnaskan.
I think it's kind of his, side project.
Nope, was asked
that he's got
graciously
going
by
on.
a cool
he seems
dude.
to be a man of 1,000 side projects.
That's true.
And Stephen Darbro is on this. I know playing some drums, and he is the drummer for Midwest Contraband.
Bass player for
Normal.
Midwest Contraband.
And then there's a vocalist as well.
Jax
Kind
D.
of.
There's a vocalist called Jaxty, and I'm not sure
A
who that is.
classically trained,
Yeah.
no bullshit, like fucking
So,
symphonic singer. One of the best you've ever
it's
seen.
an interesting little project, and there's some interesting videos out there of it.
Interesting.
Of the songs on the.
Smudgy.
you can find on the
God.
Oh, I didn't see the videos, I just heard the music.
You know, it seems to me that what I caught from this is that
Yeah, Brent's
is that
got it.
Retnaskan has already done stuff by himself. That's like his, moniker for. So it's not really the band name as much as it's like that producer guy. And I think he got a hold of Sietch and said, "Hey, do you want to play guitar on this weird thing I'm doing?"
All right, fuck
Well,
yeah.
I think somebody pulled Sietch into this as opposed to the other way around, which is usually how he rolls.
Yeah, see, Brent
Yeah.
knows.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, the thing is,
how it
I
rolls.
haven't even talked to Sietch about this because I wanted to be free and clean when we did the
free and clean like a newborn bouncy baby in a buggy bumper.
I know that
Buggy bumper.
Sietch has volunteered to come on and do a review with us, so we're going to try to get him in here soon to do one of these.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Which I think will make it interesting.
Yeah.
Something
Interesting.
totally
The word of the
non-Sietch
day.
when we do that, right?
Right?
What's
I
up,
like
Brett?
the Retnaskan thing, like just the name. Like, I had my Retnaskan this week too, so.
I love when he says papers here. What's like
what did you learn from your
1912?
Oh, that
My papers.
my peepers are the same sort of bad. I thought they were maybe getting a little worse. I'm just getting old.
Same
So that's
sort
why
of bad.
I'm
That
just
sounds like a
singing
song
it,
from Black Label Society.
You're getting old. Well,
Ain't we all? And here
So
comes
am I.
the young kid. Oh, so am I. I'm a pretty young Bailey Hill. I got the whole world in
funny
front of me.
because
I'm never gonna die. But for you old fuckers,
All
I'll
right,
like
so
just
let's
be
play
cute
this
and be like,
first track.
oh,
It's
I'm
called The
getting
Hero.
old too. Hero.
you can find this album, The Curse of the Emerald Tablets, on Bandcamp. So here's the first song.
One of my favorite ones, and it's the first one. What? Ah, fuck off. Clean up a little bit of coffee. Wee wah boo wah wah oh be ha boo be wah wah wah.
Okay, so there's a little
Joe.
bit of the sound of the first tune on there. Who wants to jump in
On.
first with their thoughts on the
Yeah.
hero?
I'll go, I guess. Like I didn't know what this was like when I got it, when you sent me the link.
It's music.
And then
Brett
I
was
saw on the page like how all those songs were short. I was like, okay. And then like reading the little blurb about it, talking about vocals and this and that, and then
Did you say
hearing
blorb
vocals.
or blur?
It's cool. Like I want to go see the videos of it now to see how they match up for what was in my head. The whole thing was just like sounded like a movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
And just, different parts of it, and like I thought, they were all pretty fitting for how each song was titled for like a different kind of scene or whatever.
Jesus, what an ashtray.
Like when the first one, The Hero, I thought it was a pretty good, intro to the project or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything kind of fit, and
Since the dawn of time of William James Tobias fucking Shakespeare, it's always about a hero. It's the same with being a musician or an artist. People don't go to see you or to hear you. They want to be you for 45 minutes to 3 hours. It's like watching a porno, right? So it's like, yeah, hero. They want to be the hero. So it's up to the actor or the musician to be like, no, in your brain, you're the hero now. It's kind of like the theories of dreaming, where you're everything in the dream. So if you're driving a big old pink Cadillac down a rainbow highway, you got to ask yourself, why are you a pink Cadillac and why are you the highway a fucking rainbow? That's how you make sense of it all. I digress. Why isn't it playing?
here's the hero being introduced to everybody.
When I started hearing this, it kind of like it's like super cinematic, but honestly what it reminded me of immediately was like 2D side scroller video games.
I know Undertale,
Yeah.
Bailey Shout. You
Like
get to
that.
Undertale here a little
It
bit.
was
I heard
great.
this the first time too. I think I even said that to Sietch. I was like, that's really cool. When does the actual video game come out?
He did in fact
Yeah.
type that to me.
Yeah, especially if, like the name of it is like a total video game title.
Curse of the Endless Tablets by Konami.
I was looking forward to that. I was like, okay, so it's like you.
Why is Bailey always
there's like
wiping
a-
her face?
It's kind of like a Proto Men deal, It's like
Proto-Men.
a rock opera type. Like the album tells the story or whatever. That was what I was looking at.
What? I like the way, now I don't know if this is an actual genre, or
Genre.
if they coined this, but cinematica.
That's all Retnaskan.
Yeah.
Dude's
That's perfect
a weird
description.
madman.
With like I said, I try not to pay much attention to the
Yeah, subgenres are
subgenres
fucking
of
bogus.
everything.
Brett Slammer, we know.
Cinematica sounds like it's like an old machine. Like you're going, we're going down to the Cinematica to get our pictures.
Yeah.
Like
With a lollipop and a nice pint of ale.
I can dig it.
I mean, my initial thought in hearing it is
Oh, here it comes.
is a little different because
It ain't music unless you're singing about.
I kept waiting and waiting and waiting for somebody to start singing.
Yeah.
And which
how'd that
is
work out for you, Joe?
definitely on me, not on the artists at all. It's on my.
And then comes in Lee Smith. Instrumental music matters.
Horrific view of it that like, oh God, everything has to have vocals.
No.
And then
Instrumental songs matter, Joe.
yeah, and as soon as I got over that, being
And ain't that the truth? You all know me. You know one of my biggest problems is arrogant musicians, right? And it's summed up mainly by the lead front people that are typically singing shit through their throat places, right? It's like, this song's about the girl that destroyed me. This song's about my problems with the addiction and the alchemy and shit. It's like, okay, we get that your dad threw you into a helicopter propeller when you were 3 fucking years old and you landed in a pit of fucking meth sickles. Everybody's life is hard. Shut the fuck up. So yeah, music without the fucking ego. It's kind of fun, ain't it?
a singer, songwriter, and my own narcissism, I went back and listened to it a second time, and
2 times 3.
The guitar parts throughout this album. I mean, but on this first song, I really love the swirling guitar tones.
And that's one of my big first pauses of seriousness. Thank you for that, Joe Shelton, because this is actually one of the projects I'm the most proud of. A lot of my projects I've never been allowed to kind of do me. It's always kind of a version of me or whatever. And I put a lot of thought into these guitar parts during the Rona and the Covini or whatever, the government cheese. And I was super looking for shit that would convey emotion of the actual subject, you know, the hero, the bad guy, and all that shit. And of course, fucking Retnaskan had this tapestry, and we'll get there, Brent Schlimmer. But real quick, I'm a tone snob, kind of like Billy Gibbons or Prince. You know, they obsessed over how guitars sounded and if they were appropriate for the subject matter and all that shit. And so just so you know, on Hero, it is super complicated. The lick, it's almost like a horn part, right? But then I used a wah and a Digitech whammy, so I was sitting in my room with both of my feet on a pedal. And there was a dude back in the day called M&MReactVid, and he did a song with Madonna, "Music makes the people come together." And so I was sitting here almost like I was driving a clutch, right? Like an old VW from the 60s or something, and I was rocking both pedals like I was on a dock. And it was fun, so that's how I got that tone, plus a dirt pedal.
That are going on, and just want to see him actually play that stuff live.
I can play it all live too.
Yeah, what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, like
the lick is
to make those tones come out, like
pull off to the.
Yeah, I'm not a guitarist, but it sounds great, and it doesn't sound complicated.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Everything
cool
sounds
shit.
complicated.
Aww.
Let's go to the next track
Next track. My favorite, Love Interest.
here, and
Bailey, that part that you thought was maybe a guitar is a guitar. It's me playing a whammy bar, an old
Here.
scratch. Wow, pick a wow, chicka wow. I love this track. Harps. That guitar, that's so obnoxious, that little fucking thing. But if you listen to it on good speakers, it's panned on both speakers, so it goes wah 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 wah, and it's meant to sound like how you feel when you know you're in love and you're fucking somebody, or like you're on a date eating lobster. So that euphoria.
so I want to give my first impression of this one is that the best thing in this, the thing that really makes me excited,
The chimmy
is to
chimmies.
hear those chimes get dragged across, because like
That was all
my
Retnaskan.
aunt
Dude
used
is
to
a
have
master
some of
of
those chimes on
mixing
her porch,
and
I
song
simply could not
construction
walk
and
past them
sonics.
without dragging my fingers
Let's
across
blow up
them,
Joe.
making them go.
Wham! That was a sweet little childhood
comes
memory you shared with the
sparkling
world
in
there,
there, and I
Joe.
was just like,
Auntie.
Okay, love that. I like when
It was pretty cool. That's one of the things
Your
that
aunt is the
inspired
love
my
interest
guitar playing,
in
was all
question.
those little
What's
chimmy
that?
chimmies.
Plot twist: your aunt is the love interest.
Hey, Bailey, get your mind out of the gutter.
Let's.
I don't know, having Sietch as your uncle has.
As, and it has its benefits.
Just gonna leave that shit right there.
Okay.
You want to call it that?
Cool uncle.
If you want to call it that.
No
It
comment.
would be a cool uncle.
Probably.
Probably.
I can totally see. My impression of this is that this is a full channeling of Frank Zappa. Like there's.
Absolutely, Brent, and that's why I love you like a fucking cucamonga. All right, Zappa's my boy, and going back to me actually being able to play like me for a change now that I've done everything else, it's nice that somebody noticed that, because Frank was a fucking master, man. He was so good, and to this day, I still don't think he's appreciated as much as he should be. And so those little whammy dives that, you know, chicka-pa-wow, chicka-pa-wow, chicka-pa-wow. It's kind of like the Steve Vai Flexible album, Brent. You know that shit. And that was all his influence from having played with Zappa back in the day, man. So Steve Vai, so from Zappa to Steve Vai to all these thousands of people, man, Zappa changed the fucking world. It's a good call on that one. God damn. So I was experiencing some technical difficulties, so I'm back. Basically, my thing there for the camera that I'm holding, the USB snapped off of it, which basically means I have to stick a screwdriver in my computer to hotwire it to go. But I got the SD card and I put it in the SD fucking thingamajig, but I couldn't get it to register it on the computer, so I came over here to the laptop computer where I was able to download it, and I realized that the MTS files weren't allocated to a certain program, so then I had to set up the program to read the MTS files that I got from my micro SD card that was plugged into a micro to standard SD card adapter. Sorry if there are breaks in the continuity of this thing. And I know, Brent Schlemmer, you said I'd be getting up and half of what you'd be seeing would be my leg and my crotch and shit because I can't stand still. Okay, where were we?
If you listen to like the kind of created Zappa albums, like Civilization Phase 3,
Lather,
where it's not really musicians, you know, playing arrangements as much as there's stuff going on that's there. A lot of it's just there for the, you know, I don't want to say shock value,
the sonic
but just
value,
for the impact of that particular sound. Like you said, you know, just a little wind chime, you know, with that real throaty guitar part going on, and like all of that really felt like.
One of the great things working with Retnaskan is dude is like a master of sound, right? And it's like, you know, in America we get so used to like guitar, bass, drums, maybe some keys, all these weird effects, because that's what sells to the kids at the mall that are doing the heroin. But old school. I had a song on the Circum Birds album where at one moment in one song and only once I hit this brass elephant. Damn it. Yeah. So yeah, Brent Schlemmer, dead on. All right.
You know, a Zappa kind of like modern version. You know, Frank's been dead for 30 years.
Frank ain't dead. He just smells funny.
At the end of his life, you know, he was just starting to kind of tap into the technology. You know, and it makes you wonder, like, because he's always been on that front, was always on the front end.
I wonder about that shit every day,
I can
Mr.
just
Schlemmer.
imagine what he would be doing right now with what's available.
Yeah.
He'd be doing
magic. He was probably one of the first guys to do all digital recordings and things like that. So to have access to just like the level of production, I mean, let's face it, these guys made this album in a bedroom.
Dirty man, I did it in my office.
You know, and it's probably higher tech than anything Zappa ever did.
It's kind of wild, all the production elements that are in there, considering like
it's all
knowing that they did this during the quarantine where people couldn't get together. You know?
Yeah, they just sent the tracks off and
damn it, like I didn't want to do it, but like there's a difference, you know. I mean, there's all sorts of artists and shit, but yeah, when you're trying to do something dope, you fucking throw the production value at it. I mean, why not? You got all these whiz bangs and gadgetry and fucking flip floops that you can push buttons on, and you sound like fucking Jesus Christ on the cross. I mean, do it. Do what feels good.
Put your part on, man.
Nah.
The whole vibe I get from the whole thing is, you know, kind of going with the video game thing we talked about. It's just kind of like a Hong Kong martial arts movie, and just, you know, going through, you know, we already had the hero, introducing the hero. Now we got the love interest. Something's probably going to happen to her. Send the hero on a quest to get her back.
Quest. Smudgy poker cats.
And you know, just look at the song titles as they come up. It's like, all right. Like, I listened to it a few times, like to you, I was waiting for you know, some vocals, and then after like the fourth song, I'm like, well.
Listen to it more. When Jax D comes in with those vocals, they are soaring beauty. It's like you said in Bad Guy, Joe Show.
I guess there aren't any.
Try not to talk too much.
And then just kind of, retook it in too. And
well, I do think on that last song, there's a vocal going on, but the vocal isn't like a
no lyrics.
Like an out front vocal. It's like got some kind of effect on.
Yeah.
A voice effect that's happening.
And just something like in the background.
Not an actual lyrical vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was singing. That's recorded vocals.
Almost.
Yeah. And what he means is it's almost like a layer.
It's another keyboard layer. It's just somebody doing it with their mouth.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's like the old spaghetti western.
I changed the speakers on my computer. I got speakers that are just on my monitor. And I
big point. Listen to this EP with good speakers because Retnaskan's a ninja and there's all sorts of buried
not called
shit
ivories for nothing.
in there. She my
thought with this song is completely. I feel like this is completely different, but it reminds me a lot of
the smooth jazz,
the like modern R&B vibes that I listen to, which I found really interesting because it's
big compliment.
It's like
Bailey,
the only song on the new album that really reminds me of that. So that kind of
because it's a love interest.
That smooth.
Let's get it on with the guitar. Love song, right?
Is like super like soul R&B vibes. Very Liana Lasadas.
Say that 8 times quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of the most.
Dope.
Which, if you're gonna have a love interest, I feel like.
Wait for it, Joe Shelton.
Something that completely like contrasts the hero in a like feminine way would be like a sexual or like sensual like jazzy R&B figure. So I liked it.
Spot on, Bailey Shelton. Good job with the words coming out of your mouth and shit, but you made one fatal error. And I'm going to have to report you to the political correctness police. You said feminine. You assumed that the love interest was a girl. Why can't a girl be goo-goo over a fucking dude? Can't a guy be sweet and like fucking R&B jazz and sensual and shit? You better go back to school, girlie.
Like my one criticism, and it's more for the like potential fictional lady that this is about. If the song didn't last longer.
Again, the lady. And now it's about a dude coming in his pants too quick. It's like, what the fuck?
You could only last 2 minutes, huh? All right.
Yeah, I knew a girl that lasted 20 seconds. She was from Brazil. Now, she did it like fucking 80 times in under 5 minutes, but, you know.
Secret passage.
Life is good. One of my other favorites. What a mood Retnaskan set with this one. There's even like a little rock opening being dragged across the floor. Quick story on this one. This was the first track he sent me, and I don't really want people to send me chords and shit. I just listen to the stuff and figure it out as I go. But the music behind this track is actually some of the most complicated. It goes like to this weird medieval chord structure and this like diabolic 5th, 7th structure and shit. And that's why the little lick is going over the chord changes and how they're set and stuff. But Retnaskan sent me the chords to this on a piano roll. With the little fucking squares and the piece of paper. And he was like, I hope this helps. And I'm looking at a piano roll. It's fucking paper with holes in it. And I was like, motherfucker, I think I'm going to like this project. Wow, wow, wow. Do, 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 so good. And that's why I say Retnaskan's a magician.
What do you think?
Hi, Indiana Jones. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Yeah.
Gilligan.
First it sounds kind of like the tuning song.
Was Indiana Jones on Gilligan's Island? Was he the one with the tits? And the...
I kind of was feeling that this one had a definite. This could definitely be a level on Mario Brothers 8 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's like ding 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 ding, but it's
we all know the lick.
Different melody.
Yeah. It goes down one of the
like a dungeon level for this.
It goes down one of the.
Well, it's good to know we got the video game market cornered. Make some cheddar.
The crazy land.
Down in the underground.
Crazy land.
Yeah. Well, the secret passage, that's where he goes.
Mario goes
there was
to
even
crazy
a repeating
town.
sound where I was like, oh,
Hookers.
look, a new enemy has appeared. Like, all right.
New enemy.
Yeah.
Right, this one seems to be the most, so far, to be the most, like, scenic music, you know, under the dialogue as something's happening.
Well, you're entering a secret passageway.
Yeah, that, like I said,
they're not going to be playing no goddamn Kanye.
Of this is,
Welcome to the secret passage.
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's wanting to make an independent film, they should totally look this album.
What the fuck is that,
Yes.
doggy?
Think it over. Yeah.
Yeah, like after listening to it, I tried to look up, see if maybe this was a soundtrack and not just a project. And I was a little disappointed it wasn't, so.
Give us time, Brent.
Have you guys heard of Undertale? It really reminds me of like.
I love that fucking video game, Bailey.
Okay, it's a video game that's like it's newer, but it very much plays off of like the side scroller style and that. Yeah.
Throw thing.
No,
Throw
like-
thing.
That's true. We're totally lacking our hip.
Joe Sheldon, you're the definition of hit, baby.
All right,
It's gonna be hard to walk.
this next one's kind of like, it feels like the title track, the Emerald Tablets.
Yeah.
We've taken the hero and the love interest and we've gone down the secret passage, and we finally found the Emerald tablets.
Habits.
And see, you're saying we did all this and we've met the hero and we've done all that. Mission accomplished, right? You're actually in the fucking motherfucking loving story. I dig that. That's cool. The journey. I gotta hate echo and reverb, but it worked on this track. Boogie boo. Jesus.
I keep waiting for this one to kick in with Flash. Ah.
Hey, I'll get compared to Queen every day of the week, baby.
I like how every sound seems to have like a purpose, like to tell the story, like more specifically than in, of course, you're playing it, to convey something, but just like every little thing is another element of this universe or whatever, this story.
I think it's really good storytelling without the vocals to.
The cavemen used to tell stories with grunts and groans and their penises flopping in the underbrush, and they'd say, this penis is the mastodon that my grandfather killed and got me this horn that I keep my fucking meth in. Storytelling isn't about words. Words are a way we found to tell stories in an easier fashion. Dig it.
Tell the story, or the lyrics to tell that story.
Yeah. Like a silent movie track that's like played to the movie but without the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a total skill that's going on here. That's that should not be played lightly. Even though we're comparing it to things that we would see in video games and things. Those kinds of music pieces are what carry those stories along inside those games.
My cigar's unraveling.
This is doing it all without the help of any kind of visual as you're listening to it.
Dope, man.
I mean, they do have some videos out with some visual things going on.
Some of the weirdest fucking videos.
Definitely a really well told story.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the symphonies, telling stories or whatever. Like I'm trying to think of the one. Peter and the Wolf. I forget who did that.
Oh, right. Prokofiev.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I can't wait because I'm going to do my impersonation of Brent Schlimmer. Oh yes, Prokofiev. He was friends with Rembrandt and Chekhov and Peter Parker. Love you, baby.
Something like that is, especially like hearing even if like the song titles help give some context, even like without them, just listening to them in order, just kind of seeing what it builds to and there's stuff going on. It's real cool. Like
Yeah, man, it is pretty cool. Thank you.
And like I said, I really dig. I mean, this particular one makes me wonder.
I'll answer you, Brad.
They put this together, you know, like kind of in that virtual way, where it was just like, here's the tracks, play off of this. Like, what started that? You know, like, what did, you know, like, I'm gonna go by the assumption that Retnaskan sent Sietch some bed tracks, and he said, here, just play over this, and that's how it kind of got going. And then the vocal thing kind of happened later. So it's kind of like, okay, here's the main production and all the bed tracks and things. I want guitar on this, so he sent them off.
So the way the whole project started is Retnaskan was like, hey man, I got this one track that I'd like you to put some guitar over. It was the Secret Passage. Bam, bam, bam. All right. And then I sent him 30 files of different ideas and shit, right? Just file after another file. My fucking outbox looked like a fucking escort off of Craigslist or some shit. And, not that I know. But, and so he was like, hey man, why don't we like actually turn this into a full-blown EP? But yeah, the recording process was cool because I recorded right where I am right now. I had all my shit in here and I got a pretty cool condenser mic and all that shit, and I had all my pedals set up and all that. And software, I'd plunk in the tracks he'd sent me, like he said, bed tracks, you know, it had all the horns and the percussion and all that shit. And I would just send him file after file, you know, inspiration after inspiration. And then we kind of like would agree on, and we only fought like maybe twice about the different things to include. To get to Brent's later points on this track, you know, the wah, 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 wah. If you listen to those on really good speakers, they're so cinematic. It's wah, 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 wah. And he came at me, Retnaskan did, because I was trying to do this real atmospheric-y shit, and he was like, stick to the BPM, right? The BPM, you know, beats per fucking minute, boom, boom. And my echo was off of the BPM, and he said it fucked with his sonic fucking, like, understanding of the track. So even though it's just wah, 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 you place that swelling wah in time, and I was trying to play something over it, and he hated it because wah, 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 echo, 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 wah, wah, echo, echo, echo. So it was actually one of the trickiest ones to do, which is dope. Because it just sounds like I'm fiddling over a fucking swell, but it was really hard because, like you said, no percussion. Anyway, all right.
Like, but listening to the beginning of that,
leave it to Schlemmer.
It really kind of, it just has that one kind of
notice it.
You know, there's just that keyboard pad going, and then all of a sudden, Sietch is playing over that in what feels like a rhythmic way, but there's really no rhythm, and there's only the one chord happening. And he's making this decision of like, well, I'm going to use that flat. So, you know, like that one thing jumps out at me in that little intro piece that he played. It's like, oh, he decided there was going to be the flat 7 instead of, you know, like he made some musical decisions that probably changed the direction of what happened later, you know, like changed how, you know, maybe how it was mixed.
So every time I'd send him a track, it would be different tones, different colorations, different themes, different all that. So it definitely did. Now the music stayed the same, but the way the music was finalized definitely was greatly influenced by that back and forth. So I'd say something, he'd be like, I don't like that one. I'd be like, but I really do. So maybe I'd dial it back a little bit, and then I'd include something else that he'd said he wanted to hear and all that sort of shit. And the mix on this project is the vital part because there's so much going on that all of those little choices that Brent Schlemmer was just saying had to have gone on did in fact go on. They went on via email, you know, it was like talking to fucking some politician. It's like, I don't like your draft of the fucking bill that says that fucking hookers can't eat bologna or some shit, and I think that hookers should eat fucking cherry pot pies and something. And so at the end of the day, you're all eating chicken artichoke dip or some shit, right? But it's the best chicken artichoke dip you've ever had.
Or whatever. You know, like maybe I you know, like I said, I have no idea how that came down the line to him. Like, what did he get to play over?
He would just send me files. He would send me the percussion and the orchestration, if you will, of the parts, and I would just kind of come up with what I thought a guitar should play kind of rhythmically with chords and stuff, and then I would just send him like sort of a lead part over it. And I'd say pick and choose. If you want to throw this rhythm part that's got a wah-wah pedal over this section, go for it. But here's a lead that you could substitute in. So we kind of pieced the whole thing together like a jigsaw puzzle.
If you listen to the beginning of that, there's not much going on.
Oh.
It's like,
whoa, 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 whoa. It was hard, Schlemmer.
And then here comes this, you know, changed up guitar part. How did he do that? That's impressive to me. Or it's like, oh, that's really cool. I'd like to hear, you know.
One of the greatest things a musician can say about another musician is that they were impressed by them. And I've consistently been impressed by every musician in Moonshine and Music. Brent Schlemmer in particular is a great musician, so to have him say that he's impressed by something that I did on a guitar is a great, great compliment. Thank you, sir.
Like, what kind of instructional guidance he was given?
Zero. Like, I wasn't given music. It wasn't like, you know, play this line. I crafted all the guitar melodies and all that shit, and he would instruct me more on mood or more on atmosphere. Like, you know, that's a little too happy for this one. Yeah.
You know, I'm guessing probably not much. Like,
yeah,
here's the tracks, do what you want to do.
I no idea. You know, we'll ask him when we, you know.
Right.
You just got the answer, Joe Sheldon.
A little while he's getting ready to do the music review for the next.
Well, maybe.
We had 2 fights. One was over the Emerald Tablets because the first thing I sent him was super like hyper metal, kind of like fucking Steve Vai shit, and then I decided to go a little more atmospheric-y for the final track. And the second one I think was it was Hero. Somebody's at my front door. I got myself an Amazon Prime. I wonder if it's Wonder Woman. But so and Hero because that real digital sounding guitar, you know, the where I was on both the pedals, he thought that was too robotic. And so we kind of like buried it a little bit in the mix. So those were the only 2 disagreements we had.
Maybe we can get him to do a reaction video to this video.
Ask and you shall receive, Kimasabi.
That would be hilarious. That would be great. Like, oh, screw you guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Screw you guys.
Like this half the time.
My penis.
It'd be cool, though. I would watch that.
You're watching it right now, buddy.
I think the thing with me with this sort of thing, you know, I feel like we talked about before, like there are certain bands when you listen to an album, you wish you could hear them live. I feel like with pretty much any time I hear Sietch play guitar, it's like there are very few people who I'm like, if you were band practicing in my house, I would be completely content with like hearing this in the background all the time. And I feel like for me, that band that I'm like, you can practice in my house at any time is like Sietch just on a guitar, like playing around.
Did you hear that, Smudgy? That was sweet. Happy Panda holding a balloon with a non-broken balloon string and a lollipop in this hand emoji for you, Bailey. Thank you.
Like, just picking through whatever
I don't pick, I use my finger.
Arpeggiations he feels fit. And so that's the part that I really like about this album and I'm impressed by. It's like, I never really understand what's going on with that, and I don't feel like I need to.
Right.
Like, he could just do his thing, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think Sietch would be interesting in napping.
And then Creepy. Creepy. Brent talking about me napping and how interesting I would be napping while he's holding a bottle of Vaseline and a Polaroid from the 80s because it's untraceable.
Yeah. It's like he's 3 rooms away, but there's an amp, so it's like whatever.
I don't believe in rooms.
So we're gonna go to the bad guy here.
Bad guy.
So with every good story, we have to have a villain.
Why's every good story got to have a villain, you cynical man? Maybe the bad guy's just misunderstood, which is why the only time I say anything on the album, it's very faint right before the guitar solo, and I say, well, who's laughing now? Nah. Because the bad guy's been shit on his whole life. Society made that bad man a bad man. Maybe he would have grown up to cure the fucking coronavirus if it weren't for the guys in the locker room laughing about his sock choices in the morning and shit, and his mom always saying, you ain't like your granddaddy. Granddaddy's what made this family. You're just a pale fuck ghost of it.
Like this.
I might have internalized that one a little too much. Tell Smudgy Pooperkins, you want to get on video? Come on, Smudgy Pooperkins. Come on, little daddy. Come to daddy. Come to daddy. Where's my Smudgy Pooperkins? There's my Smudgy Pooperkins. There's my baby. There's my... Fuck you, Finnegan. Get the fuck out of the camera shot, you loser. You're ugly.
I love that
I love you,
operatic vocal in there.
Yeah.
along with the contrast of that, you know, I mean, just really mean guitar underneath, right?
But this is the part about story. Smudgy, you better not knock over that camera with your fucking ball sack. The thing about stories and books, like I think Brent Smith was saying about how you open or somebody was, and it's all in your head, right? It's a mean guitar, but why is it mean? You know, the bad guy, he was just trying to get through life, you know, like fucking Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker. He just wants to dance every 5 minutes on camera. Why you gotta burn his face with acid and send a big bat dude after him with a fucking bat? Right? So yeah, storytelling. Best freeze frame of all time. Bailey Shelton's like...
Now, if we're talking about the bad guy, that really fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this track in it...
It really fits the generic notion of a bad guy as being mean and gnarly on guitar. We're getting deep in this mug.
Its entirety, like, even if you're only sort of listening to it, it kicks in and you're like, oh, it's a dungeon.
Oh, snap.
You're like, oh, God. The door, like, shuts behind you.
Yeah.
He rises from the ground in a fit of snakes and fog.
What the fuck
like,
is a fit of snakes? Okay. Is that like a murder of smudges?
Yeah,
or
definitely
a gaggle of goobers?
Yeah.
Like it leads up to it, kind of like, all right, something's about to happen, and then, oh, you got this giant thing, whatever it is.
But yeah, see, most bad guys ain't obvious. You're walking around cooking your fucking toad in the hole, you know, your eggs and toast and all that shit, and you turn around, wham! There's a fucking, like, murderer with a fist that's like this. And he's like, you shall be my next victim. Don't get scared, Smudgy. That was Daddy's mean voice, but it wasn't meant for you.
You need a handle.
Yeah, it's like the reveal happens with this song.
You absolutely have to land on that thing's head 3 times, whatever it is.
And then a giant red ruby pops up in the middle of his forehead.
The fuck,
you
rubies?
hit that 3 times.
Yeah.
Poink, poink, poink.
After you've already hit him 6 times.
How many times are you hitting the bad guy? Why do you think he's bad?
3 times in the next spot.
Nintendo game, definitely 3. They seem to be very consistent.
I'd be upset if people were hitting my ruby.
And then there's a cut scene where they like swirl into the air and then explode. And then the princess drops down from the ceiling.
Bailey's got to be all fucking dramatic now. And now it's a whole fucking, like, scene.
But where's the emerald tablets? And that's what we find out.
Princess comes down. Where are the emerald tablets?
Right.
They're in the other castle.
The bad guy somehow gets into a car chase.
Craziest song on the album. Just balls to the fucking wall. Lead guitar. Surrounded by thumpy bass. Snare. My favorite part of this is the metal breakdown, but you don't hear it on the... little sweetness from Mama. But yeah, car chase, you know? As long as people have been telling stories, you know, dude's getting chased by a saber-toothed tiger, dude's being chased by a helicopter,
I feel like that one there, you know, I can instantly, you know, because they made this car sound effects happens. It feels like, you know, when you're playing a game and it's a shooter and suddenly they let you drive something. Not like Grand Theft Auto where you're always driving something, but like, you know, a regular game playing along.
Why are you always driving shit in Grand Theft Auto?
You're allowed to get in it and drive it.
Like you gotta go into the store to pick out your fucking
or something.
T-shirt.
The car stereo is what you're hearing at that point.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Funny little point that Brent Slimmer said about the car stereo. It's actually mixed to almost kind of sound like it's coming out of car speakers. So leave it to Brent again.
I think on this one, like it kind of speeds up, but I think it's actually like a slow car chase. But it's just people in the car.
Car's flipping in slow motion. Dude's sliding under with a bazooka.
What's his dog's name?
Fudge.
Yeah.
Smudge, they're talking about you, buddy. They're talking about you.
Yeah, he's getting chased by Smudge because he wants to help hit the bad guy.
Yeah. Smudge would be a good popo.
I had a thought. I forget what.
No, don't knock over the kick, Smudgy.
This
No.
couldn't have come up before.
No, Smudge, you can't. No, it's a bad Smudgy
popo. About songs that include car noises, in that they always make me go like, what the hell's happening out there? Like, and I know we live on like a country road. Like,
a little bit of therapy session with Bailey.
Off of a country road. So there's no way that someone could like Fast and Furious car school.
I don't know what country road you lived off of, Bailey and Shelton, but I lived out in the country for 11 years, 50 acres out near Clarks Hill and fucking Thorntown, blah, blah, blah. And some of the shadiest motherfucking villains I've ever known in my life squealed by me. Biker fucks, drag fucks, murdering fucks, dudes selling meat out of the back of his fucking truck fucks. So I heard a lot of those. So you got the good country road. You got that gravel that crushes, you got the real gravel that just pops your tires.
Wheel like that at the beginning of the song, but it happened, and I don't know why. I just immediately looked out the window. I was like, "What the hell?
Cool.
What's going on?"
Smudgy shoe. I'm gonna get another coffee while they talk.
Nothing at all.
She got me again.
Freaking Retnaskan.
He's got a knife. I can't do anything.
We keep talking about Sietch, and I kind of want to touch on the fact that, he's really just kind of he's a side guy on this. Like, all of this kind of creation comes from Retnaskan. I don't know who this guy is. Girl, I mean, who knows? I don't know who this is.
So I know it's a dude because on their Facebook page they have like a comically photoshopped.
Absolutely right. This is all Retnaskan. He came up with the concept of it. He came up with basically the music that I've just peppered my shit over. Dude's a mad genius. Love him to death. Always wanted to work with him. I'm not going to say if he is in fact who you say he is because I'm not a fucking snitch. Evidently like the people of Moonshine Music.
Edited video of the entire EP. And then also on the Bandcamp page, the profile photo is Retnaskan holding a knife.
Okay.
And so I'm like, that must be him. I don't know who he is, but that's Retnaskan.
He's got a real interesting approach, to like, I mean, especially for this. Like I said, this is all I've heard. I haven't heard anything else by, this. Maybe this
Check
is
out
a
his
one-off
other
project.
shit.
It didn't feel like it to me. It seemed like, oh, this is just another. He just wanted to do something while in quarantine and had been doing something. Like, whether this is completely different than what Retnaskan normally is, or if this is just, like an extension where he.
So here's the secret. Retnaskan doesn't exist. Retnaskan is a construct in your mind that's been programmed by all of the aristocrats and the Illuminati since the dawn of society when we were picking rice and alligators out of the Nile River. Retnaskan was floating above us as a concept. And they said, if the people fear the mystery of Retnaskan, they will build our pyramids. True story.
Brought in some other people just because we could.
Yeah.
I guess you need to kind of listen to see what his regular production is.
Garbo is Retnaskan because that's his picture on the top of the.
Jesus, Joe!
In there, I can tell it's him.
By the way, Darth Vader's Luke's fucking father, man.
Up here on the top of the Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely him, right?
Yeah.
What photos do we have of them? Like, okay, so there's
Point.
Cover photo.
Don't listen to any of those people watching it because they're just conspiracy theorists.
I haven't scanned. I'm scanning the Retnaskan page.
He made it a little funny.
Yeah. So like this thing here is like a video that should be watched.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't know she was gonna say that. Jenks, buy me Coke.
He's Retnaskan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is some really cool video work that happens. And the fight scene, I think, is the next track,
Fight
right?
scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's check this out for that. Okay, so I'll back it up here. And
So, probably the last pause of the video, but fight scene was cool, and Joe points out it says written by Sietch Ramshackle. That was a complete, total kind of courtesy from fucking Retnaskan. Because he was like, we're almost at like a full album length here, man, but we need like a fight scene or something. Do you want to come up with something? And so I came up literally in a sheet music program, the whole and then the bong chong quang. So I kind of came up with the music, if you will, but the only thing I play on it is the little lead solo. He said, why don't you do a Dave Navarro solo? And I was like, I can channel fucking Jane's Addiction. And then the riff, gong gong wow. The rest of it, he like inverted and like did different fucking like, so he basically took this little like 8-bar thing of music I did, bum tan ton cat ton com paton, and he like just added all the cartoon effects and the whistles and shit. It was cool. So to say I wrote it, is just kind of nice of him.
That's the whole Emerald Tablets video. Yeah, it's yeah. It's a video of just fight scene.
Joe, learn to YouTube, man.
Right, it's the third video down.
Oh, let me click on it.
It's like the old dude at the mall trying to find the payphone.
The fight scene.
Fight scene.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a jazz. My favorite one, says Briley Smith. You can subtly hear me playing guitar behind it, but then he, you know.
So if you're on the audio podcast, you need to go find their Facebook page. Retnaskan is
spelled. Yeah, everybody send love to Retnaskan because he needs the views and all that. He deserves them.
But what do you guys think of the fight scene?
I think that the video element to it adds a certain level of like intensely good comedy.
Yeah.
Just like it adds a certain, like it's very intentionally
bad.
Like
say bad, Bailey. It was
poorly done. I don't want to say that. It's like it's
well done,
but have you ever seen the old fight scenes from like the 70s and 80s, or like Indiana Jones, where he pulls out his Hakarima and like the heart looks like a fucking turnip that they got at Kroger 2 minutes before the fucking shoot? Yeah. I mean, fight scenes in America are intentionally like lies. You know, dude gets shit 40 times. He's like, tell my mother that my key to my safety deposit box is in my fucking like sock drawer because she needs to get my meth from the safety deposit box before he dies. Like, dude gets shot 80 times and he goes to the store. I don't know if y'all ever seen some dude get shot, but you get shot in the knee and you're probably gonna die.
Like you can see the seams of it, you know? It's like, it looks like a patchwork or a collage.
Collage. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite song just because there's like so much happening because it's a big fight or whatever.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen the video until just now, which
the ridiculous of the American fight scene, which is really a comedy. It's like all tragedy is actually
I like
comedy.
how it's just kind of everywhere,
vice versa.
But there's still something in there too. There's like all this confusion, but there's still it's for a purpose.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, I think that the fight scene song, as I looked at the Bandcamp page, it says written by Sietch. So I think that it's the one that he completely wrote, but according to the
dots on
credits
the page.
anyway. And it's a pretty outstanding piece of work there.
Outstanding, sir.
The feeling of it, and a little bit of rage, and a little bit of,
So when I wrote the dots on a page for the song that eventually became Fight Club, I thought about, because I used to bounce at some pretty rough joints. I bounced at the Hi-Fi and Southport Bar and Grill, but I also bounced at some truck stops and some biker joints. And I always thought about all the young, dumb shits that I saw. You know, the 21, 22-year-old guys was like, hey, I've had one shot of whiskey. And the shirt comes off, and he's got a tattoo with a Roadrunner fucking eating pussy or some shit. And it's like, ooh, I'm a big fucking dude. And all the old boys at the bar eating a pork tenderloin with like a bottle of diesel gasoline are looking over like, I just hope I don't have to kill this fucking kid. And so it's about the start of a fight of a dumb little young shit and how funny it is trying to watch him actually be a man. You know, a boy that thinks he's a man. And then you put those into, like, movie things. Where did that boy learn that shit? Well, he learned it from watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, throw a circular saw blade and kill a fuck, like, 5 miles away. Right? It's like, my circular saw has a Leopold very force scope on it, and I can circular saw a motherfucker from a mile and a half away.
Lighthearted rage, even.
Lighthearted rage.
It kind of feels like it.
Silly rage.
Yeah, it's like it gets...
But see, the motherfucker you should be scared of the most is the dude that has lighthearted rage, because he'll kill you and not even think about it. It's like a Ukrainian fuck, man. He'll stick a chainsaw in your eye while he's eating a fucking sandwich.
Really mad, and then you're like laughing at yourself because you're so mad. And then you're,
right.
You know.
Which is really the plot of Fight Club.
Pretty much. Generation of men raised by women,
Sort
Bailey.
of, yeah.
Oh, I'm tough, but I still love my mommy's booby milk.
So, all right, the last track is a victory.
Yeah, because, you know, the end.
Let's get it. I mean, of course, there has to be a victory. It has to be a happy ending, I think.
Well, maybe the bad guy won. That's still victory.
Yeah, right? There has to be an ending. Resolution. Closure. Titties. Give me a movie that every last shot's just a big, perfect gymnastic titty. But I'm a simple man, Joe Shelton. That was so fun to write. Because it's octaves with slides, but it's also got like that little, I don't know if you used a vibraphone or a...
So, when we do this, I feel like the very last piece here is kind of like if you're playing Mario Kart and they come out with the platform and the trophies, like
Wave Runner.
You can do that, or if it's like a Tetris level, 200, and you get the fireworks.
The video actually has fireworks in it. Because what says victory in America? You know.
What was that, Brent?
Bombs bursting in the air.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I think I'm going to end it there, guys. I had fun.
That was my response to the Tetris comment.
And, damn it, technology. So I super appreciate y'all taking the time to do it. And I wanted to do a reaction video because you guys are dope. And all that good stuff. Books and Brews forever. Moonshine and Music forever. Joe Shelton, Trains, Home, the whole fucking bailiwick. Brentley Smith, go see him in comedy or just hang out with him at Books and Brews. Sometimes Bailey and Shelton, congratulations on your graduations. You're going to go far, girl. And Schlemmer, we've been around, buddy. Good stuff. All right, Sietch Ramshackle, Space Ranger 1 out. The fuck, smudgy cans had to turn the fucking thing off. I hate fucking Gizbot.